So with Black Clover Mobile, festival characters are in question because, well, Global will be getting their, I guess, first ever festival character, where on JP and KR it was introduced in a pay-to-win manner with these special purple tickets, which I should have a few still laying about. And so, getting closer and closer for the release of Black Asta on Global, some people are still kind of skeptical to think that, oh, they're still going to pull this off on Global. And I've been kind of holding off from making this video, but I thought I'd make it now since Mera Leona is here and she's confirming that she's a festival. Black Asta is going to be here in like 2.5 weeks, which is crazy to say, but on Global, yeah, that's a reality. In between now and Black Asta, you're going to have a new seasonal. So Global is moving in that fast pace, and so if they do choose to go down the route and releasing Black Asta with the purple ticket, that's going to screw a lot of people over, because one, it's going to be expensive, two, it's going to be more catering to the pay to win, and you know, a lot of people are ready in the tickets department as well as the crystals department. Now, I've already mentioned this a few times, but I'll say it here for this video, for the sake of this video. Global will never ever see this, like the purple ticket. That you guys, Global will never have this type of ban. Now, I don't know if they'll implement something like this for the Greymore and then like a package deal for like a great deal amount of free crystals, but when it comes to obviously this right here, that ain't gonna be a thing. So I guess the only thing that we could really take from this that Global might get is some sort of package deal with, you know, gaining Black Asta's Greymore. I feel like the character-wise, that's going to have to be done in a summonable way, of course. Now, the other big reasons why I bring all of this up, and I know if people have already mentioned that, some of you guys may be aware of it, JP is insanely more free-to-play than Global. And so, as it stands, if they chose to release Black Asta the way they did Julius, then they would be making near to no money. Global, on the other hand, with the success that they have seen, they can comfortably say that we don't need to implement this pay-to-win mechanic onto the game itself. It's not crazy pay-to-win because you're still giving free-to-play players that chance to do a full rotation, but when it comes to getting dupes, that's when the pay-to-winness kind of actually comes into effect. Now, there is a bit of a counteract with all of that, because even though they've implemented that, you know, pay-to-winness banner, it's still, yeah, I think what they have to do, I mean, well, from what I've seen, is that they've actually slowed down on providing the SSR mage pieces dupes. However, when it comes to the skill page dupes, they have not slowed down. Like, I can get another 2 more if I wanted to. But the mage pieces, they have slowed these down tremendously. So what it feels like with what they're probably trying to do is, you know, we get the initial Greymore. I mean, we can go about spending the 20k and then we can dupe it out in a free-to-play manner. But I think when it gets to character dupes, I think that's what they're trying to cater more towards, which is fair enough. I would say that if they decided to lean more towards, you know, the whole skill page side of things, that would be an absolute nightmare. And actually, they would make a ton of money from that side of things. Because I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there are people out there who did some ridiculous amount of spending and summoning for like Julius just to max out his skill page, and that racked up the game itself at the first month period for Black Clover Mobile just close to 15 million, which is absolutely insane, right? And so with Global itself, with the money that it's making, they do not need to implement this at all, and they won't. They're not going to. I promise you, they're not going to. Now, I decided to kind of see if the pricing has been updated a tad bit. It has. So this is a prime example to on why you can see and why they're trying to implement these festival pay-to-win banners, to where JP/KR 200k, 5k. It's bad. At this point, JP and KR are the beta testers. I know some people are still going to be furious about it because yes, JP and KR, you know, they're more free-to-play friendly. So when JP and KR and Global does catch up, I'm curious to see on how things are going to go about there, because Global is still yet to get some of these updates to where you can get these SSR skill page dupes and whatnot through the shop, etc. I don't know if they can ever implement them, because I understand that obviously Global, they do want to make it that little bit more pay to win, because Global right now is making all the money. So to give you guys an idea on how JP and KR is doing, it's doing pretty poor. But at the end of the day, they're still going to cater, they're still going to provide the content, and they're going to keep it as the way it is, being extremely free-to-play friendly. And so they're going to have to implement these type of barriers when it comes to releasing characters to actually get some sort of revenue. Otherwise, I'm telling you right now, if they didn't do the purple ticket banner, we would probably be looking at less than 100k, and that download would probably be the same, to be honest. But that's kind of the truth of the matter. So a game that is extremely free-to-play friendly, and this is what they're pulling. I know how people always say, oh, I wish this gacha game was a little bit more free-to-play friendly. Yeah, this is a prime example on why developers choose not to go too crazy with the free-to-play friendliness, because the results, for them, it's not worth it. So this kind of puts it more into perspective. And then, of course, if we head over to the global side of things, if it wants to load up, there we go. So no, I think it was just under 15 million, or maybe over, is what we managed to reach. And so in the current state of global, with where it's at, 5 million with 1 million downloads, that's not bad. You got to think about with what happened after the first month. You know, we had Kyoto and Kohono, which they were kind of dead, and then it was pretty much season 3, which again, people, if they wanted to go free to play about it, they just needed to go for Charlotte. Then we have Yuno and Langris, which honestly not many people are going to be summoning for, because pretty much come season 4, that is where things are going to get heating up. But to really think about with the characters that they dropped for obviously after Julius, to say that they're currently hitting 5 million, this is really freaking good. So you guys get to see on that with global side of things, with how quick they're going, it's actually working and they're making that money. And so they don't have to implement this because they're making the money. The only reason they would have to implement this if for whatever reason global was making a horrendous amount of revenue, right? Like, I don't know, probably less than 1 million or something, I don't know. I mean, well, that wouldn't have been too bad either, but yeah, we'll say less than 1 million, of course. Then, of course, they might have to consider implementing this pay-to-win banner, but this just gives you guys a prime example on why things are going to be done differently with JP and KR. Now, can they have changed up JP and KR to make it like global? Of course they could have. I don't know why they didn't. It's kind of weird, right? But regardless, they just decided to leave as it is and implement this. Still doesn't really do much, because at the end of the day, in my perspective, when I'm summoning, I just need to get 1 copy of Merleona and 1 copy of her Greymore, and she's done. So it low-key is kind of defeating the purpose. I feel like this is like a long-term type of purple banner that might come into effect as time goes on, but for players that are ready, aka like myself and many others, you know, this doesn't hinder our chances of getting the character in any way. Unless RNG is terrible, then that's a big rip. So there's that. But again, with global, as you guys can see with the revenue mark, they are doing completely fine. Now, the thing about global, with where it's at, they are doing it fast pace. I'm pretty sure they've seen what they've managed to achieve with Julius and Noel dropping, and how much money that managed to bring in with releasing those characters so close together. I'm sorry to say this, but global, it's going to be a pain in the ass, because in probably a week, just over a week's time, Season 4 is going to drop, and that's going to be Charmy and Noel, and those characters are going to be insane. If you can max them out, especially with their Greymore, they are top tier meta units. And then taking all of that into consideration, Black Asta then releases. Taking that all into consideration, you then have to look forward to Fana, to then Witch Queen. So with global, they've kind of realized that keeping everything compact and close together is where they're draining all the money from. And so I know how a lot of people are going to hate it, but that's the way that they're making money, and to those that are spending money are supporting the game in that manner, and so they're going to keep that up. Obviously, when JP, KR and global all catch up, that's when I feel like things might slow down a bit. I'm curious to see on how people will take it and what changes will come about. But anyway, you guys, just wanted to make this video just to clear it up with the whole purple banner situation for festival characters. Again, global, you will not ever see these purple banners, I promise you. Unless the whales start not spending as much, then maybe at a later time they might have to consider dropping it in just to make that money back. But as it stands right now, with where Black Clover is and with the revenue that they're bringing and the revenue that they're going to bring in, with how close together some broken characters are, yeah, Black Clover is going to be hitting some big numbers consistently. And so from that, you are not going to be seeing any of the purple banner. However, I do hope that in the future, with future updates, they do kind of throw in some you know, some like skill page, because I don't think they've updated it here, right? Yeah, so like I'm hoping this, like all of this kind of gets updated to where it does give Global a helping hand, but I believe Global, you guys have to wait up until Season 5. Once Season 5 is done, I think that is when Global is going to be shifting over to where JP and KR is at. So, enjoy it for now. I know it's going to be a cluster. I can't say the... there's going to be a lot happening, but... Yeah, just... I would say be prepared, but with the game and with how quick it's going, you actually can't even get prepared for the dupe stones and whatnot, so... All I can say is good luck on your summons, and I do hope you pull everything that you need early on rather than later on, so there you go.